I don't know what's in the water, but the English Builder might be about to don your screens over the next few weeks because all I have been thinking about is decorating in The Sims 4. Who am I and what have I done with myself? Honestly, I look in the mirror and I can't even recognize myself anymore. I have never been a builder in this game, in any Sims game, to be completely honest. The most I have ever built is when I really had a specific image in mind for a specific family home and I knew that I couldn't find it on the gallery, or I didn't want to spend time editing up a lot where I could just build it myself. It's not going to be focused on actual building. It's going to be focused more on interiors. I think Animal Crossing has done something to my brain chemistry. I also think it helps by the fact that I love my space. Like, I love my home right now. Our living room is like the coziest. We have the best lighting setup. You can tell that lesbians live here because our friends come around and they all start acting like moles. I have been making over townies. I've done plenty of videos showing all of their outfits, their aesthetics, their interests, which I will link some of those at the end of this video if you want to go check them out. But their houses were basically falling into disuse. They had no personality whatsoever, especially a lot of the older houses. We don't even talk about them. Hello, Get Famous with the missing toilet. I am looking directly at you. So I wanted to inject that same aura that my Sims now have into their houses. Most predominantly their bedrooms. I feel like that's where we're gonna see the most personality shine. I actually just the other night on stream, twitch.tv/EnglishSimmer, I actually stream Mondays and Wednesdays, 7 till 10 p.m. I always get people saying like, hey girl, I didn't know you streamed, so I should probably talk about it more. And I also really need to start uploading my VODs to my stream VOD channel because I'm not gonna lie, they are a mood. But obviously we have like all the new like townie houses that they did for base game. This was the Pancakes. Obviously Bob has his like little den down here and I haven't really focused on this. I just focused because in my save file they have Iggy, so they were kind of prepping his nursery in the original, whereas this is what his nursery looks like now. I randomly decided to headcanon that Bob is like a huge Star Wars fan, so he's like, that's my co-pilot right there. And then I actually did over Eliza's room. It was kind of like very pink to begin with, but obviously in these houses they just use base game only because, you know, they were made for the base game, so they want simmers who only have the base game to be able to like play but also see a little bit more personality than what they initially launched with in 2014. However, I have all the packs up until Adventure Awaits, so I really can like make it my own, decorate it however I want, and I decided to headcanon that Eliza is definitely into the fairy books. If you catch my drift, if you pick up what I am putting down, she has a colored coded, of course, library around her like framed TV, a little like reading nook over here. And then I also changed up her office. She likes to draw a lot of the characters. Not gonna lie, in my head, I still think Eliza is not straight, and I think this is kind of maybe it coming into play a little bit. You know, she's been going to life drawing classes, maybe had a little bit of a midlife wake up. I'm really proud of this one. This is one of my more recent ones. You can really tell that I got my hands on the cozy kitsch kit and was like, oop, that is gonna make for an incredible BFF house. So this is what we've got going on. Now, my idea for this place is it's definitely still rented, so they haven't really like changed the kitchen and stuff because obviously you can't like do that in a rental, and they've painted like the walls in their bedrooms, but that's pretty much it. So the living room is still like very neutral, but then they brought the energy and like all of the colors. Then you head down the hallway. This is, of course, I've forgotten everyone's names. I swear, it's been like a hot minute since I've like actively played Travis's room. Now, in My Sims, Travis basically created an app and like did loads of programming and like in my mind works on video games and stuff like that. Like he's huge like tech nerd, and then he sold it off and basically created like an enterprise for himself at a very, very young age. And he still like loves technology, but he was like so wealthy. So I do like to think that he just rents for the fun of it, you know, he's trying to be a guy in his like mid-20s. He's trying to be relatable, but I really like his room. I went very like tech forward. He's got like a drone sat down here that just kind of is gathering dust. He's obviously got quite like a few iPads, some like consoles. He definitely streams now, like he's made his money, but he streams for fun. And then we have probably one of my favorite rooms that I've ever created in The Sims 4. I absolutely flippin' love this. This is, of course, Liberty Lee's. And the way that I did these rooms is I actually wanted to be able to, like, turn off these lights for auto usage, like the main lights, and then still have the lighting be sick. The whole reason I got Better Build and Buy was so that I could actually change the color of this lamp over here. And I don't really know what color I want to do. If we take that out, yeah, we got a nice little purple glow. Just to show you some details, I actually put this little tile over here, and then literally today before recording this video I was like, I actually want to put this on, which is, I'm fairly sure, yeah, from Werewolves, and it's this really cool like artsy design. So it is kind of going over the tiles a little bit, but then I have this bowling stuff with this over the top, kind of just for extra storage. Then we have her wardrobe with all of her plushies on the top of it. Yes, I did take inspiration from my own office. This has quickly become one of my go-to items. I thought absolutely nothing of this kit when it first came out. She's got the rainbow kind of under her bed, the LED like artwork, love it. You know, she is a little bit in love with Summer Holiday, so that all makes sense. She's also a pretty big nerd. She's really into film and TV, but she's also into sports. She absolutely loves reptiles. I wish we had reptiles in the game because Liberty would absolutely have one, but I decided to put a moth in there instead. And then the clean girl aesthetic is absolutely what I went for with Summer Holidays room. I didn't want this to be overcrowded. I wanted it to be a really serene space. Obviously, she's got a salt rock lamp. Have you ever seen a sim that screams salt rock lamp more than Summer Holiday? And if you think you know one, let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear that. I would like to defend my corner. She's also got like workout equipment. She's into yoga. She's into wellness and fitness. She's obviously a cheerleader. She's got her little cheerleading trophy over here and her sad lamp because hot girls suffer from sad. I say as she literally has all the windows covered, but they're actually like quite a sheer material. Like you can see through them a little bit. They are glitching out. I wanted it to be very soft, like very calm, very serene, which I think she needs in a house like this. Liberty has had a lot of the design elements, and then outside I just added a little bit of pizzazz to the pool. I like to think that Travis or Liberty bought this to wind Summer up because she hates pineapple on pizza, and those two are professional rage baiters. This is the diva's spot. Guess who the diva is? I'm not even gonna confirm or deny. Promise this is the last one that I'm gonna show off, but Johnny Zest, he actually does have a dog in my save file. He has like an American Terrier, American Pit Bull, the one from Target. He has the Target dog. I was kind of right on all accounts. Apparently he's a Bull Terrier. Someone suggested he have an outdoor shower, which honestly just felt very Johnny Zest of him. So we did tuck away at the university shower down here at the back, and then you go in through his front door. He does still have his little stage. They obviously added this in their remodels, and I kept the kind of rug. I used to use this rug all the time. This was in so many of my base game houses because it was definitely one of the best kind of looking rugs that we had. The sad clown, but I added in a keyboard. It makes sense for his career. He's in the entertainer career, and for that you actually need to work on your comedy skill, but also like a musical instrument. So I decided to go Tim Minchin vibes for Johnny Zest. He definitely writes like parodies and stuff. That's why he has an amp as well, his little spotlight. He's got some clothing down here, this sports equipment, which at first I was like, why the heck did they add sports equipment for Johnny Zest? But then I like to think that he just uses it in his comedy routines. Don't talk to me about it. Don't talk to me about Johnny Zest's media wall. Chat were all yelling, use the Don TV, use the Don TV. And I got it out and I was like, this is far too big, but it actually makes so much sense for Johnny. It's fully blocking these two windows, but he does not care whatsoever. As long as he has prime viewing of like all the TV shows that he watches, you know that Johnny Zest absolutely loves Abbott Elementary. I don't really know if this place is rented or if he hasn't just been able to like do it up as much as he would want to, considering, you know, he's trying to become a comedian and he's definitely not on the best wage for The Sims. So I decided to keep the kitchen like very samey. He's focused on the areas that like really mean a lot to him. He doesn't even have a coffee machine. I probably should get him one. I feel like he would spend his money on that for all the late nights that he's up writing. Again, his bathroom, we don't talk about the toilet mat. I regret putting this in, but I think it makes sense for Johnny. But the room that I wanted to work on today is part of the Roomies house. So if you didn't know, I feel like this is canon lore that just like flies under the radar to a lot of Simmers. I think it was very well known like when the Sims originally came out, and then people just kind of stopped talking about it, you know, as more Sims got introduced. But this household is actually based on the New Girl gang. Zoe Patel, Zoe Deschanel, you know, she is meant to be Jess. So of course I took those creative liberties and I did make Zoe Patel a primary school teacher. Tell me you wouldn't die if she was your primary school teacher. I would be obsessed with her. I'd be like, she is mother. You know what? I wouldn't even be embarrassed if I called her mum in the classroom. That happened once and it was to the worst teacher I ever had in primary school, and none of my friends ever let me live it down. This is so giving like Miss Honey in the best way. She's got these little llama earrings which again match with the color of her top, and the little sunflowers match with the top. Oh, everything about her is just perfect. The little strawberries, the red and the green. Her hot and cold weather is where it really popped off though. So we have this one for like the springtime in school. Then we move in to like her summertime fit. Don't think she could get away with wearing this one in school, so probably need to change that. And then her cold weather, we have like the autumnal look with the little leaves and the mushroom makeup. Stop it. What do you mean? Also, this jumper is the cutest thing I have ever seen. And then finally, we have her winter aesthetic with the snowman earring, the red lip to match the red shoes, the green tights. It's perfect. I like to think that maybe this was a little head nod towards her being a teacher, because they were like, oh, like kids pictures, but we're gonna delete everything. I'm gonna be so for real. I hate it all, and it's definitely not giving what I want it to give. This is kind of her. I will say this feels like a little reading nook, so that's good to keep in mind. I pick up on the furniture that I want, and then I start designing like the walls and stuff around that. I don't want this room to just be rainbow because she wears a lot of bright colors. Like I still want it to be cohesive and like feel like it's her kind of space. Ooh, I wasn't honestly really thinking of like going for a deep blue, but I actually really love the way that that bed looks. Oh no way, this bed is my crutch. I use this bed so frequently. Yeah, I feel like that's maybe a little bit more her. Can't believe I've finally outgrown my usage of the subtle saucer light. But I do still use it whilst I'm decorating so that I can get a good idea of like what colors are which. And we all know that the lighting in The Sims 4 is terrible anyway. We could maybe turn this into something else. I feel like she's not really the type of person to have a walk-in wardrobe. Is there an office in this house? Not really. So I feel like we could maybe turn this into a mini office for her, because as a teacher, I feel like she's gonna need that more. Okay, thankfully, the bed that I chose actually does have like quite a few colors to choose from. Like I've gone red with her wardrobe, but then we're also bringing in quite a lot of the blues. She needs to have a good lamp. Considering she's a teacher, I feel like she's gonna be reading a lot in bed. She's also gonna be probably like marking things in bed, but not gonna lie, the table lamps really aren't my favorite in this game. I never ever use the Tiffany lamps. Ooh, the pink one's cute. Right, wait, we need to change the walls. The wall pattern is like really now throwing me off. I do quite like this really dark color. I just think the purple is really, really cozy. I swear there's a lime wash looking wall and I can never ever find it. And I thought it would be under green because that's what I remember the color being. I think I used it in my growing together house and they actually had this bed and it just looks so nice, but I really for the life of me can never find it when I want it. Also, I found this wallpaper recently. How cute is that for like a kid's bedroom, like a woodland themed room? If this didn't have the skirting board along the bottom, do we just have like a gingham pattern? Because I would love to use that as a feature wall. Sometimes I feel like everybody is a preppy baby. This one doesn't have a version with just the skirting board. You then have to have the molding at the top. Ah, this game. This is why I don't build. Why can nothing ever just flow? Why can't we just have like swatches that match each other? That would be too difficult, wouldn't it? I'm gonna tuck that away in the back of my brain for a later date. I decided to shift her bed over a little bit because this space was like slightly too big, but also then not usable. And I don't particularly like her having this like massive window. So I've added this little like screen and mirror, and then we'll definitely add some curtains. Now we have these modular ones, but the thing is, all the modular ones, minus the ones that we got in Zarela's kit, are all really, really dense. Like they're super, super heavy, whereas the modern looks ones are basically... Oh my god, this is infuriating. This is the most infuriating, actually. You can take the window out so you'd be able to like place these a little better. But I actually don't think I want those. I think I want this curtain. Movie Hangout, you will literally always be famous to me personally. I love Movie Hangout stuff. It gets dragged through the mud, but it's actually so cute. That was when The Sims 4 lost its whimsy, honestly. When the Sims community decided that they didn't like Movie Hangout stuff because it was like all too colorful and like too hippie. And then we switched to like earthy neutral tones and never looked back. You know that her caringness doesn't just go for children, like it also exists for plants. She's definitely a little plant mum, so... Which is actually something that I have avoided in a lot of these builds I've done so far. I really haven't had too much focus on plants. Whilst we're in wall decorations, I also kind of want to look for like kids' schoolwork, like stuff that it looks like kids could have drawn. Ooh, there we go. There's child paintings and drawings. So we will place that room. Is there like... spare space? Yes, there is. Okay, nice. This is cute. Okay, let's get this demon bunny. I don't think she'd be able to throw away the art that the kids make. Like, if they don't Like if they forget to take it home or something like that, she'd just be like, yep, well, this is going on my wall. She's honestly probably also gonna stick some on the fridge. Is that rainbow fish? That wasn't even in my classroom, but I remember helping a year 2 teacher. I was such a goody two shoes in school. I was such a suck up to the teachers. I'm gonna be so real with you all. I used to help them with like all the odd jobs that they needed doing. And I remember helping like put up a rainbow fish display, and it was the most amazing display I have ever witnessed. We're also gonna pull up these two over here to have in her little like reading nook. I swear there's like a high table that looks like a standing desk, but I actually don't think they'd be able to use that because she needs to sit for the crafts, which is actually really annoying. So maybe we'll get this because it looks like a crafting desk, or maybe we could do this as potentially like an L shape. But the problem with an L shaped is they're not actually gonna be super usable, are they? So we'll just keep it to what I was originally thinking. So we'll tuck that away over in this corner. It's not really very inspiring, is it? It's not a very nice room considering there's like no windows. One of my actual favorite things to do, and you might hate me for this, but is actually placing a window inside. Like, I know to most people this like wouldn't make sense, but I think it's such a cool art piece. And then also I think it like is so decorational and just feels like so homey. I remember doing this in my heyday household. Eek, is she gonna be able to fit 2 chairs in here? Here's hoping. Yes, easy. I'm gonna quickly get out all the furniture pieces that I need because I know that I want to like decorate with plants and stuff, but I feel like first I need to get out all the main bits of furniture that I know I need to focus on, or else I'm just gonna like think of things and then forget them. I say as I'm out here adding decorational pieces. Stop. Oh, I wish we had ukuleles in this game. I feel like a ukulele would fit her so well. I could just size down a guitar to make it look like a ukulele. Not usable at all, but it's there for the vibes. I know I said I was gonna go for a blue, but I'm really being drawn to the red. And then the only issue is, where are we gonna fit these little guys? I guess what we could do is move this to around here. We'll put that there for now. See how this fits against that wall, because I actually do really like this piece of furniture. I know I said in the beginning that it was too big. I put it back to its regular size because the flame was weird when I actually sized it down. I just think I want that in the middle. I think it looks a little bit weird if it's anywhere else. And then we put those two there, and then we need a cute little seat for her, or honestly even maybe a love seat. Ooh, that they used the same pattern on this high school years one. Maybe The Sims didn't lose its whimsy. Oh my god, get out of here. I can't believe that is the same pattern and that I've only just noticed it. Sims team, I'm so sorry for saying that you lost your whimsy. Right, can I make the rest of this furniture fit? Now, I know what you're thinking. A piano in this tiny room, girl, what is going on here? But hear me out. I feel like she would definitely play piano. I feel like she has the exact same piano in her classroom. I know she can get through there. I was gonna have the hamster. I might genuinely just put this in the house. Jay Huntington is absolutely gonna hate it, but this is like the class hamster. And you know, it can't stay in school the whole time, like throughout the summer holidays, so we also need to have Hammy. He's gonna hate that so much, and I kind of love that. I kind of love that it will completely throw Jay Huntington off his game. I also think she's pretty artsy, so we're gonna plop that down over here. I also want her bike, because she's definitely part of like the ride to school scheme. So can I have that kind of leaning against the wall? Her ukulele can sit over here, just tucked away. The flower press was something that I definitely wanted. However, I don't think it really Although this can just go on the floor. Can Sims just sit on the floor and use this? And then she also has her cross stitch, which is what she does to kind of wind down, take her head away from marking grades and all of that. One of my most favorite items in the game that I feel doesn't get enough love from the community, but we do have our little bonsai bush. Don't know if she's gonna be able to walk through here, but I guess we'll wait and see. And then we definitely need some rugs, and we need a few more plants. The reason I like using plants so much in The Sims 4 is I feel like they add height. Like a lot of the time when I'm creating something, I'm like, you know what, we need like some form of elevation here. And I think plants just do that so well. Oh, she's also got her little tarot deck over here because you know Zoe Patel is definitely into tarot. That little bit of height there just made such a difference. And then we can put it in this cute little red pot. I kind of want one of the tarot prints up on her wall as well, but there's so many cool ones of these that I literally never know what to go for. I really like the cow plant one. I think that actually matches the vibe. I think we're gonna go for these. Absolutely stunning. She's a better plant one than me if she can keep a fiddle leaf fig alive. To be honest, maybe we don't need like a massive rug though. Maybe we just need like a rug like this. I don't want to make it look like stepping stones though. That's the only thing. But I think, yeah, those two actually break up the room more the way that I wanted it to be broken up than like one big rug would. And then finishing touches, she definitely needs some form of a stereo. So I'm going to place that on top of the piano because I guess we could place it behind her PC, but I kind of don't want to do that. And then let me go on window coverings because this room is a little sad. This is where she's going to be spending like a lot of her time. I like those ones around the door, and then I guess that can go on this wall, and then maybe if I put up like a wall sculpture, I kind of want these just up above the piano as well. She just has like all the teacher crafts, everything that you imagine a teacher having. Zoe Patel is like, check, got that. Oh, her little teaching certificate. Wait, that's so cute. Yeah, because she's super proud of that. And there we go. I think that is Zoe Patel's room done. I'm so sorry that this video was so long. I didn't realize that I was in such a chatty mood. I think that's also why I don't do build videos like this. Like usually I would have time-lapsed this and just spoken over it because I feel like I can just talk for hours on end. And when I'm doing something like this where my mind is like focused, I can literally just like talk utter nonsense. But this is so cute. It's actually everything that I wanted it to be. I hope you all enjoyed this little video looking at some of my townie room makeovers. Obviously, I have a lot more to do. Not saying that everyone's is, of course, going to be as intricate as this, but I don't personally mind that. But if there's any others that you would actually like me to record and upload, even if I do like maybe a couple of them in one video and then voiceover, definitely let me know down in the comments because I want to take your requests. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now.